Good morning, everyone. I am Angelica Dizon, and I am the first reporter for this chapter. And the topics that were given to me are the literature as a significant human experience and the purposes of literature. First, I am going to discuss the literature as a significant human experience. Literature is any written works that deals with man and his experiences, expressed in artistic, imaginative, creative, and meaningful languages, which arouses a noble feeling of pleasure in its interpretation and commentary on man's fate and destiny. So this definition of literature is the most common definition that we've heard. We all know that literature is any written works or pieces written by a person, and it expresses his or her thoughts, and it is written in artistic, imaginative, creative, and through the use of the meaningful languages. The human experience in literature contains themes about life and society that are relatable to readers. Themes related to human experience encompass any commentary on society or human nature, such as death, relationships, human rights, and conformity. So, in here, it says that mostly the contents of the literature is the human experience. And as we read the literature, we can certainly relate to what it is um, conveying to us. Literature opens the mind to old memories and allows people to relive their experiences, good or bad. It also allows people to learn through other people's experiences and learn life lessons because they can see through other people's thoughts and memories. So, by reading literature, it helps us to um, reflect on ourselves. It also says in here that through literature, we learn about the other person's um, life experiences, their thoughts and memories about life. And by reading their works, we may be able to adapt something that we can or we may be able to apply in our daily lives. It serves as a reflection of reality, a product of art, and window to an ideology. Everything that happens in the society can be written, recorded in, and learned from the literature. So, through literature, we can learn about the reality of life. Through literature, also, we can discover our talents in writing, and we may be able to enhance our communication skills, writing skills, and such. And also, we may be able to express our ideals about this life or about this world. And we can learn also about the past events. Whether it be poetry or prose, literature provides insight, knowledge or wisdom, and emotion towards the person who partakes it entirely. So, through literature, we are um, capable of learning new words or vocabulary that we may be able to apply in our daily life, in our communication, and during our interaction with other people. Okay, now so let's proceed to the second topic, which is the purposes of literature. So, one of the chief purposes of the literature is a means of exploring what it is to be a human. It is also a way of communicating with others about a huge range of ideas and concerns. Put simply, literature helps us to understand people, societies, events, and culture. Basically speaking, literature is important to our lives. Through literature, we learn about a lot of things about the culture and traditions of other people, and also through literature, we are able to express ourselves, our own thoughts and ideas that we may be able also to share to other people so that it can be or it can serve as a inspiration or they may learn something about us from us and we can learn from them, and also it helps us to understand each other. Literature allows a person to step back in time and learn about life on earth from the ones who walked before us. We can gather a better understanding of culture and have a greater appreciation on them. We learn through the ways of history is recorded in the forms of manuscripts and through speech itself. Through literature, we may be able to learn about our history or the things that happened in the past. And um, by the use of reading literature, we can appreciate the deeds of those people or those works of the people who wrote about their experiences in the past. To understand more about the purpose of literature, let us discuss about the 10 reasons why literature is important in human life. So the first one is literature is a powerful stress reliever. It's no secret to readers that literature can relieve stress and anxiety. Taking time out of the day to sit back and get lost in a good book does wonders for a stressed mind. So, in a human life, there's a lot of things that happens throughout the day, and there are certain or sort of things that a person thinks about of, and sometimes they just want to relax their mind and escape for a while from reality. So, they can be able to grab a book and read it so that it can help them to relieve their stress. Second one is literature fuels imagination. According to the World Literacy Foundation, reading is one of the best ways to develop a strong imagination. While there's very little mental work involved in watching a movie, reading words of a page requires readers to create the scene in their mind. This exercise strengthens the imaginative parts of the brain, encouraging creativity and innovation. So, through literature, our imagination becomes active. Isn't it that when we read a book, um, we imagine those that were written in the book, those events and happenings that were being discussed in a book. So, with the use of literature, our mind works on imagining things. Reading literature improves concentration and focus. If a person struggles with a short attention span, reading can help improve that function. So, as it is being said in here, through reading literature, it improves our concentration and focus. Isn't it that when we read a book, our only focus is that on what the book says or what are we reading? And as we focus on what we are reading, we may be able to understand what does it wants to convey to us. Number 4 is reading literature keeps brain inactive. Reading's effect on brain health shouldn't be ignored. Stretching the imagination and improving concentration are both forms of mental stimulation. The brain is a muscle, and by taking the time to exercise it, a person keeps it active and healthy. Research shows that regular mental stimulation can slow down degenerative brain conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia. So, a purpose of reading literature is that it keeps us away from any diseases and it exercises the function of our brain. As we read, the brain of a person continues to function as it imagines things that are being read, and also as we um, adapt a knowledge from a certain book that we read. So, number 5, literature expands a person's vocabulary. By engaging with a variety of literature, a person broadens their knowledge of new words and phrases. For those learning a new language, literature is one of the best ways to improve their skills. So it is also what I have said a while back, that through literature we learn new phrases and words that we may be able to use in our daily lives, in our communication as we interact with other people. And also, learning new words is essential for us because it enhances and improves our communication skills. Number 6, reading literature improves a person's writing skills. If someone wants to improve their writing, they should read more. Reading literature not only fuels the imagination and expands vocabulary, it also offers a guide on different style, idea organization, character development, and more. So, literature is not only about reading books and novels or such. It is also about writing. Of course, if no one write about a book, there is nothing to read. So, reading literature improves person's writing skills. Through reading literature, we acquire a more knowledge about something, about new phrases and words, and also it allows us to express our own thoughts and ideas, or we may be able to get an idea from the works of other that we can write about and tackle in our personal work. Number 7, literature improves a person's communication skills. When a reader improves their writing through reading, they're enriching their overall communication skills. They extends beyond writing into regular conversations and interactions. Good communication is key in every area of life, whether it's in a career or relationships. Exposure to literature at a young age allows people to develop strong communication skills right off the bat. Adults can improve their abilities with more reading. So, through literature also, it improves our communication skill. As we read a book and learn new words, we may be able to apply this in our communication with other people, as what I have said a while back also. And a good communication is key in every aspects of life. So as we communicate with others, we share our own thoughts and feelings towards that person, and same true with them, they share their own thoughts and concerns to us, and it helps us to understand each other. And also through literature, we learn about different languages, isn't it? As we read literatures or books or dictionaries, we learn new languages and words. And it helps us to expound our knowledge about something through learning new languages. As we interact with other people, with those who use those languages, we are able to communicate freely and understand them because of what we have gained or what we have learned through this literature that we have read. Number 8, literature encourages critical thinking. Critical thinking is essential for life. It allows people to work through problems and determine what's true. Reading literature provides the perfect opportunity for building critical thinking skills. A reader has to pick up on details, make connections, and form their own opinions on what's going on in the book. So, with critical thinking, we think carefully about something and we analyze carefully those what we have read, so that we may be able to comprehend and understand what does it want to convey to us. And number 9, literature teaches readers about history. Through the lens of literature, a reader can uniquely engage with history. So, as what I have also said a while back, literature teaches us about the history, and we learned about those past events and the deeds of those people from the past years, or those people who wrote about their experiences from the past years. And lastly, reading literature can encourage empathy. Every society needs empathy, or we devolve into a dog eat dog environment that hurts everyone. Research has indicated that reading literature can fuel feelings of empathy in a reader. Literary fiction is especially effective at encouraging empathy. Why? It requires a reader to get inside the mind of a more complex characters. So, as we read literature, we empathize with the emotions and feelings of those characters that were in the book or work that we are reading. But of course, it is not just about those characters in a written work or piece, but also we can also understand and empathize those people who we meet and encounter on our everyday life. And through this literature, we understand how would they feel about something, because we also have those feelings towards something that we want to express to others. And with this literature, we can able to improve our social relationships towards each other. So that is all for my report. Thank you for listening, and God bless.